What's up, everybody? Sorry. Here we go. Welcome in. If you're here, you're watching this, and we're gonna do some mix it up work. And I'm gonna finish up one command that I started on my own, and I have this really long video for it. Oh my gosh, it's super long. And then we're gonna look at adding something that was requested by Mika. So this is our mix it up interface. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's version 1.3.0.5. Most recent one that's out as of 9/25/2025. Look at that. Look at that. We got Enzyme in there. Welcome in with the first. Ooh, I don't have my alerts on. I should have my alerts on. That is bizarre. Interesting. You can hear the audio, right? And just making sure. All right. So let's go over quick Q&A. Okay, so this was my brilliant idea, sort of. I did steal some of this from another YouTuber, which I have. Oop, hello. Audio music, yeah, cool. Perfect. I just want to make sure, because... Oh, I disabled Twitch alerts, that's right. Because they were annoying me. So I totally stole this idea. Well, I didn't steal it. I had the idea too, and I decided to make it my own, just a little bit. And this is the YouTuber, where she goes through a really basic question and answer thing. I improved upon it. At least I think I did. So I want to finish it up because I think I haven't finished it yet. And I think I'm like 2 hours into a video and I'm just like, oh my god, I need to finish this. So what this does, this adds, I decided to make an action group called Q&A. And Q&A, the ultimate goal of Q&A is to allow someone to do a command and ask a question. And then as a streamer, I then want the ability to display said question on an overlay, on an overlay. And if they ask it publicly, I want to display their lovely, whatchamacallit, avatar in Twitch. I'm focusing on Twitch. Sorry, YouTube. You're here, but... and then I want the ability to ask anonymous questions. Oh, that's a good question, Keegers. How do you handle YouTube people executing that command? Problem number 74. Okay, so we have these actions, which I'll just pull up one at a time. Because I'm lazy. Alright, so hopefully this makes sense. We put it into an action group. Action groups, to me, they just make sense to keep things in order. Not in order, but organized. And... ask a question. Okay, so ask a question and ask anonymous question are essentially the same. They look at your local app data. Local app data is the default installation point of Mix It Up. And it literally does the same thing. It writes this to this questions.csv file. And the only difference is that the anonymous one over here inputs an anonymous username. It grabs the all args, which is the all arguments after the command. And then it pipes in this lovely image, which I think is of a puppy. So the avatar will be showing up as a puppy. Whereas this one just grabs everything from the user. The username, again, the all args afterwards, so that's the question, and then the user avatar. So hopefully that part makes sense. At least it does to me. So I'm gonna close that. All right, now we've got, well, let's grab this one. Let's look at this one. So we got a get top question here. So it's gonna look at this file, which is that same one that I specified earlier. at questions in that mix it up assets folder. And I assign it to the special identifier of full question, right? Then it goes and it runs a command from the action group called display question. That's over here. And it passes in the option of full question. So it takes this as special identifier and passes it in here. And I believe it's going to ignore requirements. It doesn't need to, but it does. So that's what this one does. So get top question does this. So then this one here, this is in sequence. So you've asked a question, it writes to that file. Now we're getting the top question, which is here. We're then going to display the username and question on an overlay. Yep, questions endpoint overlay. So it's a new overlay. And here is the first argument, and here is the second argument. Right, because the CSV file, let's open that one back up. I wish you could double click. The CSV file is written with these pipes. That's this thing between username and the $ here, which I know is really hard to see on my screen, so I apologize. I don't think I can. No, I can't. Okay. I was going to see if I could blow that up. I can't without changing settings. Not going to. Anyway, and that is the default that you set up in Mix It Up. It's a default argument delimiter. And that's defined. I'm going to actually look where that's defined because I know it's in your settings and I just want to make sure I'm not showing settings. Here it is. So it's right here under settings, commands, and it's this arguments delimited setup. I hate saying that word. Delimited arguments separator. So it's that up bar. It's the shift and then the one above the enter key. Excuse me. So that is that. Welcome back from that ad break. All right, so that's why this here automatically says, okay, we're passing through this full question, which is going to be that entire line, username, all args, avatar, with those up bars between. And then it's going to say the first argument is the username, the second argument is the question. Super, super cool. And then the next part here, we're going to display the avatar, which is the URL here, which is given by the third argument. So delimited 3 text 1 2 3 boom, should put the argument there. Super easy. And then we have this one over here, which will just go through and remove question 1. So the thought process behind that is once you've answered the question, you then remove that top line, so then there's no more questions asked, right? So let's see how that all ties together. Those are the command, those are the working parts of this, and then let's just see how that all ties together, because I think I might have it mostly done. So let's go to commands, and that's under Q&A. So ask a question, ask an anonymous question, get question, and then remove. And that is obviously the wrong permission. All streamer, perfect, save. So in theory, if we do this, let's see if we got it right. So we're gonna ask a question, which is ask Keegers, what is your dog's name? And it shouldn't give any feedback, which is exactly what I want. So then as me, I'm gonna go back through and I'm gonna say get question. And not working. Cool, I'm gonna slip into studio mode so you guys can't see what I'm doing on my OBS side. Well, I could show that to you guys. Inception, OBS Inception. All right, so on my alerts, so I have a nested scene called alerts, which is over here on this side. So I have to blow this up a bit so you guys can see. I can't, sorry. It's over here. And Do I have mixed up questions? It is there. Okay, so we do already have the questions thing there. That's what I want to make sure. So it should be showing up on my OBS. It is not, so that's not great. It also helps if I turn them all on. Let's try that again. Try that again. Because actually I thought there was some feedback. Nope, okay. There it is. Huzzah! There you guys can see it now. So there is the question. Ooh, that's a lovely question. So apparently we've been doing other testing. Now the only issue that I have with this setup is as a streamer, I can only see it in OBS. I don't know if I like that. I'll have to figure that out. But you can see I did some work with the. I might put a background or something behind the avatar. I don't know, but let's remove that question because that is not a question that I want to answer. Ooh, that's something we should do for that. The remove queue, we should remove the alert. Let's do that. It was remove queue, right? Or do I have to do the capital Q? Let's see. Not sure which one that did. That's fine. So let's look at this one. And that I don't actually know how to do. So we've got this. Oh, it only supposed to stay on the screen for 60 seconds anyway. Okay, so I'm just moving too fast. So in theory, this should, spark conversation. So it should just go and do it once and then have it stay on the screen for 60 seconds. Yeah, because you have to have a duration for overlays, which I kind of hate. I wish you could have until I say so, but I'm not sure how to do that. Just being honest. All right, so let's do good question. See if there's any more questions left in there. There's not. There's not. Cool. So let's go through and do that other one again. So this might be done. That's kind of cool. I'm sure there's something that I missed. We gotta wait the 60 seconds, so I'm gonna just chill here. We're gonna listen to Addie sing a little bit more. I thought I wasn't done yet. I thought I had one more thing left to do. But this is looking... I mean, other than that... Oh, I did want to do... I did want to have a... I wanted to have something in the alert, question alert area that would give us how many questions are left. But that doesn't appear. Now, the other thing I want to do is, let's do some error correcting on this. We should add a conditional here. I'm gonna do that now. Well, no, I'm not, because I already did this. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do get question. Keegers, what is your dog's name? I've got two. One is named Hattie. One is named Mel. There you go. So again, it should just count down from 60 and then disappear off the screen, which is really, really cool. But while it's doing that, we'll do that remove question. Boom. Now, if you're watching the VOD back, I respect that you guys can't actually see these commands going through on my screen, because I have the bot filtering out those commands on my screen. So I'm just literally typing what I'm saying. So like exclamation point ask Keegers, what is your dog's name? Remove Q, remove exclamation point, remove Q lowercase gets that, or removes that question. So if I do get exclamation point get question, there you go. It's got that lovely ugliness that is now on the screen. So let's see if we can add some error checking to this and see how we can do that. So we're gonna add what's called a conditional here, which is gonna suck because, yeah, I'll show you why in a second. Actually, it won't be too bad. So we're gonna actually move this up. So we're gonna move this up here, and the first value is gonna be full question. Oh gosh. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do contains and up bar. Yes. Okay, so my brain processed that way too quickly. Let me take a step back and make you understand what's going on here. So a conditional checks to see what happens if something contains something else. So we're gonna say this first value, which is actually $, first value is the full question. So it's gonna grab this special identifier from up here, and it's gonna say, does this full question contain an up bar? Now, going back to, not that one. Is it this one? Going back to the original action group, and we look at that ask question one. Remember, all these things go through with that up bar. So if there is a question in there, line 1 of full question will contain an up bar, right? Now, in my ideal world, I'd love to say like, oh, if the, like, to me, there should be some other error checking where like this doesn't exist, so like go away. But I'm just doing what I know here, and it works. It should work. We're gonna find out if it works. So we're gonna have this action. We're actually gonna copy this right here, because instead of doing this command, we're gonna do this command. So we're gonna do type is a run command. That's what I want, sorry. And it's an action group, and it's part of our ask question, and in this case it is display question. Bam. Optional arguments is this, and now I can remove this and save it. So what did I just do? Let's go back over that one really, really quickly. Display question. Now, wait, what was I in? Get top question. That's what I want. Get top question. So again, it looks at this. We're first going to grab that first line of questions and assign it to full question. Then we're going to go and we're going to say, well, if full question contains an up bar, I want to run the action group command of display questions with that full question that we got from here displayed. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, if it's me, and it is me, I want a little bit more. I want just a little bit more. So we're actually gonna go back over here, and we're gonna go back into our action group. We're gonna add another action group item here, and I'm actually going to say this display question, and I believe no, I want to duplicate that, but I don't think I can. So we will just create a new action. Ooh, no, not a new action group. What is that under? Yeah, it's this one. And group. No, I am blanking. Sorry, guys. It's under Q&A. Q&A here. Bunk. Okay, and we're gonna call this one no display, no question, right? And we're just gonna actually open this one up and cheat a lot, because what I can do is I can take this here and just add it. So we're gonna do a this is a overlay. Perfect. We're gonna add it. This to be a text. We're gonna send it to the questions. We're gonna have a duration of 15 seconds because it shouldn't. I'll do 10 seconds because it shouldn't be that long. Text. No questions remaining. And we're gonna copy everything here. The only thing you guys might not have is that Obelix Pro thing. Bam. And there's still a couple other things that I edited, which is this, basically the CSS. And I'm gonna just copy and paste that into here. Save, save. Now, we're gonna do one more conditional, because I wish I had a wish list. I wish there was a, so the conditional says, if this is true, do this. But in a lot of programming languages, you then have an else. So like, if this is true, do this, or else do this. And in this case, we don't have that, right? So we're gonna add actually another conditional, which kind of sucks. And we're gonna copy this, but it's gonna be slightly different. Slightly different. It's an up bar, and instead of contains, we're gonna say does not contain. That's what this means. Does not. Those are those less than and greater than signs saying together means does not contain. And we're gonna run again a command, and we're gonna add it. We're gonna run command on the action group. No question. We don't need anything else, and we just hit save. So, if I did this right, we hit exclamation point get question. No questions remaining! Check that out. I am gonna center that though. But there you go. But that is how I would do this. And I kind of love it. So, and if you are still here, what do you think? What are your thoughts? I don't know if you'd ever use something like this, but I would. You could do like a total ask me anything type deal. And it'd be kind of fun. By the way, if you guys want to look and see what chat looks like, because you guys can't see it, that's what it looks like. All me, gobbledygook. I do have my timers off. I should probably turn those on. That's okay. Okay, cool. Well, we'll get feedback later because it is working. So anyone can now ask a question by doing exclamation point ask. There is ask anon, I believe. I'd have to do that out. I do want to create some sort of command that runs that you can run saying like exclamation point commands or something like that. I just wish I could figure out how to. No, it doesn't randomly ask questions. No, not at all. It's a way to interact with your audience. So if you right now do exclamation point ask and then ask a question, it'll go into a file. And then I can then do get question, exclamation point get question, and it should then pop up that question on the screen so you can ask any question. You have to type a question, dude. Exclamation point ask and then put a question after it. And I'm gonna add a couple other things to those commands because there's a couple other housekeeping items to do. Commands. So like this one, we want to delete message when run, and then remove question. Delete chat message and run and save. Okay, so again, we'll go back over here. So, and for your example, you can say, ask, who is Keegers' favorite author? Like that. So it sends that command to chat. This is the only bad part that I don't have yet, which I should have, is a pop-up or alert that says that I sent something to chat, which, by the way, why did that not? Oh, because ask doesn't do it. So then I would say get question as the streamer. That's not get question. If I can type. There you go. And I deleted it for myself, which is fine. Oh, look at that. Because it didn't eliminate the values. Okay, error checking. Error checking. We gotta figure that out. Okay, So that is where your URL is, by the way. So to fix that easily, let's see, these are things I love to work on. All right, so let's fix that easily. I have to fix a bunch of things to fix that easily, but it's gonna be worth it. So we're gonna go here. Well, first I gotta get my question. Get question. Boom. All right, cool. 1 minute is really a long time. I wish it would overwrite what's there. There's gotta be a way to do that. Right? What is there's gotta be a way to like clear everything out of a thing, right? There's gotta be. I don't know how, but there's gotta be. Let's take a look at. Display question. I want to take a look at the overlay stuff. Cause yeah, if you do it too quickly, I'm gonna get nothing here. Oh, because I didn't remove it. Oh, I didn't remove the question. There it is. So I can run this command as many times as I want, but until I remove the question, it won't be that. Ah, okay. I'd still like to be able to time this out. This is the one I just added, right? I did. Okay. So like, and it's an Ask Me Anything plugin, or it's an Ask Me Anything action group for Mix It Up. So then you could tie, once you have it loaded, you could tie this then to like bits or a channel point redeem or whatever the heck you want. Does that make sense? There it goes. I will investigate that later. Okay, so to fix the other issue, now that I've cleared out that, is to go here. Oops, no, don't run it. Edit this. We're gonna move this here. Why? Wait, or is it simpler than that? Is it simpler than that? I think it's simpler than that. It's that. I bet if I put a space there, and then so I put a space there, and then if we do push point ask. Ah, go away. Okay, and then get question. Oh, remove. Oops. To remove Q, isn't it? Oh, jeez. It didn't work. Why is it doing an at Keegers 02 in there? Let me send something as the bot. Alright. That one should be getting rid of, but it's not. Ask. Okay, and then get question. Get question. Okay, that's, yep. Okay. It's not great. Let's do some more error checking. Let's do some error checking. Let's make this robust. All right, so we're gonna go back to our action group. Okay, so this is where we're gonna do some error checking. So we're going to add that conditional. And we're gonna open that up there, and then first value is all args. This is where I want it to be anything. This is where I'm annoyed because I could do a regex match. I could. I don't really want to do regex on stream. Let me check out their special identifiers page quick. Click. Thank you. Okay, so I don't think there's that would do it. That would do it. This one here. Okay, so this should give me the total number of delimited separated arguments, right? So let's just check this. So all args, except this one, we're gonna say the count of the arguments is greater than or equal to 1. And actually, we're going to do this real quick. We're just going to do this quick and dirty. We are going to do a chat message of this, because I want to see what this does. We're going to snooze this for a second. I want to see what this does. So let's now do an ask. Ah, okay. Ask, hello, Keegers. 1. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, so let's go back to this and explain what the truck I just did, because it's worth explaining. All right, so we're doing this conditional. We're gonna have to copy some stuff over, but so we're looking at this argument delimited count. Now, when you do exclamation point ask and don't put, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna do exclamation point ask and I'm gonna put a space after it. It's still 0. Now I'm writing a bunch of junk to this question's CSV, by the way. It's really not good. But if we have this right here, it's 0. So that's why we're not getting any response to the bot in chat. You guys can't see this. Sorry. Twitch so you guys can see, or watching the VOD, let me pull up my chat so you can see what happened. So right here, I did an ask, nothing happened. I did ask hello Keegers, and I got a 1 back. And then I did another ask, and I got nothing back, which is exactly what I was expecting. That's what I was hoping for, not expecting. So let's explain what happened. Looking at this. So this arg delimited count gives the count of arguments after the command. Okay, so even like this one here, this exclamation point ask has a space after it. So I was like, oh gosh, I hope this works because maybe it's gonna count the space. It didn't. Perfect. So this args delimited count looks and says, okay, if it's got more than one argument after it, which it shouldn't, it should only have 1, but I'm not gonna, I don't care. You could put an up bar then, in, well, whatever. Anyway, I can't handle an up bar in the question, that's fine. So many stupid things to think of. Anyway, so let's look at this. So again, if it's greater than or equal to 1, it should actually be exactly equal to 1. We're then going to do this part. Now this isn't in the conditional yet, we have to do that, but I did write that quick and dirty command here, the chat message, which just spit out the number of arguments, which again is 1. That's why we got this Keegers bot here saying 1. So let's actually do this. So now it's going to be a file read write. Add this, and it's going to be that append to file. It's this gobbledygook here, and we're saving this gobbledygook here, and we're deleting this, and we're deleting this, and we're saving. Oh, wait, but we can do, but wait, there's more. Let's do some more error checking on this. So we're on another conditional, and you know what? It's gonna be exactly this. Right, that just adds, yeah, okay, sorry. In this case, we're gonna say it equals 0. And we're going to then have a chat message. Hey at user name, don't forget to ask a question. Save. Now, here we go. So now we're going to go back over here on the chat so you guys can see this. So as me, I'll ask, and it shoot, didn't do it. Let me double check. Ask. What are you eating? Anyway, sorry. Dog walked in chewing on something, wanted to know. That's anonymous. Let's go back to... Oh, it's here, sorry. Why didn't that work? So let's take a look at the ask question again. Let's just do less than 1. It's less than 1. Maybe it's not 0. Don't ask. It may not be 0. Chat. Exclamation point ask. Perfect. Perfect. So okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I have the wrong thing because it's not the @ symbol, doofus. It's the $sign. But yeah, that's it. That's that. So we've gone in, we've made corrections, we're doing it, and then we're adding this error correcting, which is super, super nice. It's $sign username. I'm just lazy. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm so used to whatever. So now if we do that ask again without anything, I'm just going to do it over here. Oops. There we go. It worked for me. Let's take a look at the chat. There it is. So I did an exclamation point or ask, and then it, don't forget to ask a question. Same thing over here in ask anonymous question. We just literally have to do the same thing. Now the anonymous question thing is up to you if you want to have people be able to ask anonymous questions. I mean, in theory, depending on when you answer the questions, they could be answered right away. So in theory, you could just look up at your chat and be like, "Who asked that question?" This is where I wish we had a duplicate action, because these two are the same, almost. So I'd really love to be able to just copy it over. But we'll just do this, and do this, and do this. Because like I'd love to be able to, even if, because if I duplicate this, it's going to stay in this one command editor instead of being able to move it over. I'm just saying it'd be nice. Conditional, add. All right. Also, I'm doing it in this order. There is an order thing to consider here, sort of. So it's greater than equal to 1. And then, I'm only thinking about that because, in theory, this one should happen more frequently. So then it should only do the top one first, and then it'll do the second one, which is kind of nice. Append to file. By the way, we're appending to file as opposed to save. So the options here, save to file, append to file, read specific line, blah, 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 blah. Append means add to the bottom of. So as we're changing this file, it will add things to the next line, which is really nice. If there is not a file, the append to file will create a new file. So like I could go in and delete this questions file and it'll be fine. So that's the one you really want for this, just so you're aware. Now this one is this gobbledygook. But that solved the question that End had, that End created, not that End had, but End created with our problem. So this is less than 1. Action, chat message, add. A username, don't forget to do that. And then we go back up to the top and we delete this and we hit save. That's it. I kind of like this. What do you guys think? I like it. Welcome back. On Twitch, welcome back. All right. Well, if you guys got questions, let me know. We can do it now in the ask commission board and ask. My throat is starting to go. All right, we're gonna create a new command group, and we're actually gonna do all this stuff because Mika has a question for me, and I'm gonna go grab it out of Discord really quickly. Mika. Where's my notepad? I'm gonna go with regular notepad. Ooh, actually, hang on a second. I don't know what's on my notepads. One second. We need to, we need to do this. 1 second. Click. Sorry, I promise I'll be right. I'm still here. I don't know what's on my notepad. Some random gobbledygook from log files. Cool. All right. I will go back to screen input. Perfect. There you go. All right. So this is our request from Mika. Hey, Keegs. So for Mix It Up, what I'm looking to do is something you can do every 15 minutes. Like, for example, and guys, please don't. For example, treasure is buried at coordinates 55, you dug at 45, try again in 15 minutes. Then it gives you different outcomes when you try and see at the right coordinate by keep on trying and digging every 15 minutes. When you hit the spot, it tells you something like, the treasure is at coordinate 55 and you dug out at coordinate 55. Congrats, you dug out the right spot and found X amount of gold for your treasure collection, if that makes sense. And it totally, absolutely does. I don't know how to do it. We're gonna figure it out right here, live on stream. All right, so first of all, we need to create a First of all, there's some questions that we're gonna answer. We're gonna answer for ourselves. So, to me, you have And you can, this would be something to think about depending on the size of your chat. Sorry, I got distracted. That was the thinking sound. Okay, so let me type out my thoughts here and we'll go from there. So first of all, I'm going to assume assumptions. There are 100 coordinates. I can't spell either. Leave me alone. Really? There's no spell check. It's gonna tell me that it's spelled wrong. Oh, there it is. There's 100 coordinates. Now you can change that. You can be 200. I don't care. We need to deal with. We need to have. These are my thoughts. So then there's gonna be a timer to create. See, this is the thing that I don't know. So if I was doing this, I would have a timer that would create the treasure. Timer to create the treasure. So I'm just gonna type out my thoughts. Timer to create the treasure. Right? So then every so often it creates a treasure. He's saying 15 minutes, so like maybe this is once an hour. So you get 4 attempts to find it, and then the treasure gets recreated. Right? So we have to deal with 2 outcomes, which actually is 1. If the treasure is not found, move it. I mean, with Mix It Up, we could do lots of things. Or do we have a timer? Sorry guys, I'm trying to think this through. Like, so we could also have a timer that checks, say, every 15 minutes. I kind of like that. Okay, so these are my thoughts. We can have a timer. So we're gonna do having a timer to create the treasure. If the treasure is not found, do nothing. If the treasure is already found, do something. Make a new one. There's also one other thing to do. And this is where I think we want to do something else. I was thinking about doing a file to store the treasure coordinate. But now I'm wondering if we want to do a file or a... Gosh, what are those called? It's a special identifier you can create on startup, and I think I have one. I don't. I think because I went for the... Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a way to create a variable special identifier, puke, when you start. So like, for example, it's a counter. It's literally called a counter. Because usually you see that with like death counters. So then every time that the stream starts up, a new one is created. But I think in this case, do we care? Because maybe we change the do nothing from do nothing to announce that there is still treasure to be found. Right? Does that make sense? So this is my thought process, because then we'll write, there are 100 coordinates, write chords to a file. So now there's a timer that's going to run every create timer to create the treasure every 15 minutes. Because you don't want to spam this too often, right? So 15, 20 minutes, however long. I'm going to do 15 minutes to see how this works. We might do shorter in testing, but whatever. So if the treasure is not found, so that file exists, I'm actually going to type this in here. File exists. Announce that there's still treasure to be found. So then even if you start your stream, that timer kicks off right away saying, hey, there's still treasure out there, everybody. Go ahead and type !hunt to try to see if you can find it. Whatever the heck you want. And go from there. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And then if the treasure is already found, make a new one. So that would be writing that file with the coordinates from 1 to 100. And then yeah, and then when it creates it, then you just do that. Now, Mika's example, and he says he took it from Mr. Shoot. Dragon Ball Z guy. I'm forgetting his name. Mr. Richards. Thank you. Thank you, Brain. Because this is how he does his Hunt the Dragon Ball thing. So we're just trying to recreate it because I think he says he uses Streamlabs to do it. We're going to try to recreate it and mix it up. And yeah. So the other thing that you could do is you could do a conditional. We're going to add hunt command. I'm going to call it hunt. No chords. What they ask unless not in 1 to 100. Then failed. Alright. So we're making like a mini game here. Now the other half of this is then what do you do? What is the treasure? Right? So that would have to be up to the streamer. This could be, what I would probably do is I would have it cost, say, 10 channel points, and then you can get anywhere between, say, 10 and 1,000 channel points back. So let's actually put that in here. what is the reward? Costs 10 channel points. I'm gonna call that. Caught that right away. Reward between 10 and 100 CV. How's that? Does that make sense? Yes, so the reward could be crap. Or I'm gonna say 1,000. Let's make it worth it. Make it worth it. So the reward could be crap, because the reward could be exactly what you put into it. Or the reward could be a lot of channel points. I'm just saying. So there is a lot here. All right. So I think we got enough to start building. I'm curious. Sorry guys, I'm being nosy. Cool. So I am bringing up my action groups. I'm bringing it back over here. Sorry. So we've got our assumptions. We're gonna do, I love this feature of Windows. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, boom. So now we can see our assumptions on the left-hand side here, and we can see, mix it up on this side. So we're gonna create a new action group. We're gonna name this, where do you wanna start? Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the basics. We are going to create that file. Right? I'm gonna create that file. So let's take a look at creating that file. So we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna be lazy. Well, I'm gonna be sort of lazy. I'm gonna grab this one because I wanna grab the path right here, this assets thing, because Mix It Up currently is only Windows. This is where Mix It Up is installed, and I don't think you can change it. So if you have Mix It Up installed, this is where it's going to be. There's this assets folder, and then you can then put something in there. So then I can put this out as a community thing, which I should do with this other one, and then you guys can just install it, and it should just work, which is really cool. All right, so name. Let's call this Bury the Treasure. Is it 1R? I think it is. It doesn't have an E in it though, that's for sure. Thank you. Alright, bury the treasure. Alright. Command group, we're gonna create a new one called treasure. And we're gonna have a new action called conditional. Sorry, I'm thinking real quick. We're not going to have a conditional yet. We are going to file read write. This will make sense in a second. We're going to read from file. And we're going to read... Oh, that begs the question. Do we want to create this file? Do we want to delete the file and create it? How can we? Actually, that's a better question. Can we delete the file? No, we can't. Okay. So then, okay, we need to, I'm going to make a note here. Remove the chord from file. Okay, just trust me. Okay, so this does not, oh, that's the old one, don't touch that one. Sorry. No, I'm not gonna sing. That's just, don't do that. This one. we're going to bury the treasure. So we're going to call this, we're going to do this in pieces. Okay, so like if we look at what I wrote out here, this is my programmer brain, my amateur programmer brain, thinking through this problem and breaking it down into pieces, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a action. Sorry, we're going to create an action that is going to just bury the treasure. I don't care if the treasure already exists. We're going to have something else that's gonna call that, right? The timer is actually going to call that. The timer is going to look and see, is there a coordinate in the file? If there is a coordinate in the file, and we're going to change this. Coordinate. Chords exist. Announce it. If there's treasure already found, make a new one. Boom, done. Let's break that down a little. Let's just move that a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so those are our assumptions. So we're going to break this down. So we're breaking it down by, we're just going to bury the treasure. So this one is not a conditional. We are going to assume, and we're not going to append to this. We're just going to write to a file. We're going to write to a file path. We're going to call this /treasure.txt. Now I'm going to copy this, and we're going to put this here because it's very important. We're going to reference that a lot. So we're going to make sure we've got that copied. And the text to save is a special identifier. And again, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. We're just going to go up here, and it's random. And it's random number between X and Y. This one is going to be this random number here. We don't need X and Y because we're going to do between 1 and 100, which ironically enough is actually this one here. Thank you, documentation, for making my life easy. Boom, done. That is how we bury the treasure, right? That is it. We're burying the treasure by saving to the file. So the save to file will overwrite what's in the file. Doesn't matter what's in the file. We're gonna save it, and it's gone. I don't care. Because again, this doesn't care. This is literally going to bury the treasure. So save. So there's our treasure group. So we've got our buried treasure. That is gonna do this one here. That's done. What else do we want to do in this area? Let's do the search for treasure. My next door neighbor is taking out the garbage and my dogs are freaking out. There you go. All right, so we're gonna get the treasure thing. So we're gonna search for the treasure. So this would be that exclamation point hunt. I know I called it search for treasure. Don't worry about it. Well, don't worry. All right, so we're gonna take in a, we're gonna do the same thing we did before. It's gonna be fun. So damn. We're going to do. I'm trying to save time. Hang on a second. Sorry. I don't know if you could hear that. I hope you didn't. I apologize. I had to make sure my dog wasn't outside. Okay, so searching for the treasure. So we're gonna have a conditional where we're gonna do that same thing we did before with the delimited args, and then not the delimited args. So if the delimited args is, so we're gonna go is that this one? Yeah, this one. All right, so the delimited arg count is equal to 1. So they're searching, they specified a number between 1 and 100. We're going to then do something. So there might be actually a nested conditional. You can do a nested conditional. I've never done this before. We're gonna do this. All right, so we're gonna do then, if they specified something, we want another conditional. Because if we look at our notes, If they answered between 1 and 100, then they're gonna be able to dig. If they answered outside, sorry, this one here. If they ask, sorry, do what they ask, and unless it's not within 100, then we're gonna just make them fail. All right, so this one then is ARG1. I want to make sure I'm pulling up. So I'm referencing this here. Our count. Between 1 and 100. Then we're gonna do something. Oops. Then we're gonna do something. And then we're gonna do another conditional, which is exactly the same, but it's ooh, we don't have a not between. I don't like that. Oh, this is where I wish you could do some other things here. Or do we care? Wait, do we care? So Muppet comes in and goes, "Well, it's supposed to be between 1 and 100, but I'm gonna do 1,000. Who cares? Ha ha ha! I'm gonna get it." They're gonna auto fail. Yeah, the auto fail. Okay. Or do we not do anything? Okay, well, let's think that through in a minute. So let's finish this part up here. So if they have an argument, we're going to then run a command that's going to pass in an argument. Right? I'm thinking that through. If they don't have a conditional, if they don't have one, then we'll pass in a random number. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna actually have to do this twice. You'll see. I think. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see. All right, so we're going to add another overall conditional. So it's going to be the same thing. So it's going to be this is less than 1, like we did before. And then it's going to... this doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay, so oh, got it. So I'm gonna hold this one up for a second because we're gonna do something different. I'm gonna do another action group. We're gonna call this one user is looking for the treasure. Do they find it? Okay. I might actually put numbers on this one to make it flow, but well, trust me, just trust me. So these are then gonna call. Let's save this. Oh my god. Conditional. Alright, it needs me to do one thing, so we're going to put this one thing in here, and this is going to be read file. And again, we're going to go back to our file here. And bam, and we're going to call this treasure chord. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to save this just because I want to have something here to reference, because now that I've saved this, I can go back over here, because I want to finish this one up first, because this one's really, really simple. This one is going to say a command, not a chat message, a command in the action group. Do they find it? And we're going to pass through our text one, which I had copied, which I no longer have copied, which is fine. We're going to pass through our text one. So if they specified something, we're going to pass through that. If they didn't pass through something, this is where we're going to do this. We're going to pass through it's a command, and we're going to run a command which is on this action group of do they find it, and we're going to pass in instead. It's going to be the same random 100. Boom. I hope this makes sense. So again, let's take a look at this. So when someone does the exclamation point hunt, I'm just calling it that right now. So they call exclamation point hunt. If they have, say, exclamation point hunt space 45, they will then get their number here, pass through here. If they don't, if they just do exclamation point hunt, because they don't have to, they will pass through a random number. Does that make sense? All right, so now we're going to do this here. We're actually gonna do a chat message. How do we reference? How do I reference that again? Is it just arg1 text? I think so. You start digging at this. Okay, I'm gonna do something here because we are this far in and we've made 3 commands and we haven't been able to test snit. So we are going to test what we have so far, which is not much, because we can't test this one because we don't have that working. But I do want to test this part out here. So we are going to go to our commands and we are going to create a new command under our treasure. This is going to be called hunt, because I'm calling it hunt treasure. And the trigger is going to be hunt. And it is going to run a command on the action group called users looking for the treasure. That is what we're doing. And we're not past... That's it. I don't think we need to pass anything. No, we do. We need to pass text arg1. Let's try it. So I am going to pull up chat, and as me, we'll do hunt. Okay, so we have a problem right there. So it's passing through literally the text, our text model. Okay. Now, if I were to do exclamation point hunt 75. Ah, okay. See the issues? So, perfect. So this is working. This is working. It's working halfway. The random number is not working. So, let's go back to our action group. It's this one. Oh gosh, okay. So then do we handle this part, which I created here, in the command? And I think the answer is yes. So this exact thing, which actually we can call this. So okay, we're gonna redo that command. So the command here is going to, where's treasure? Edit. Is that all I need to do? Perfect. And then if we do hunt at 99, perfect. Perfect. Right? Is everybody hopefully seeing how this is working? So like right now we've got this thing where it's just calling this, and this is taking care of everything. I like to have the action group. It's a horse apiece. You could create this in the commands area, but I kind of like to have the action group here so you can just call those actions. It's kind of nice that way. All right. So we have this. We'll clean that up a little bit in a second, because I think we're going to keep the chat message, right? Because that makes sense. So this is good. This is done. The looking for treasure works exactly as we want. So if they specify a number, they get it. Why am I... Hunt. Let's just see if the hunt works again with nothing. Hunt at 32. Hunt at 35. It's just... Start digging at 36. Oh. Oh, it scrolled. Is that what happened? 40. Oh, because it's okay. Because it's me, I'm sending it through twice. It's the bot is my fault. If I go over here on just Twitch, it works. But it's sending through both as Twitch and as YouTube. That's why I'm getting it twice. That is a me issue. That is not a mix it up issue. It is a me issue. Okay, so we're doing good. Doing good. So let's go back to our action group. So this is the importance. Like, I was watching a video about this guy who explained how to create what's called a IDE, or a development environment for whatchamacallit, for HTML. So like you can create your own self-hosted, I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. Here it is, I got it right here. So like I coded this. This is me on my computer right here, and I can code this here, and you can see it dynamically updates. Hello, chat. And the guy went for a freaking hour at the end with this thing called JavaScript, which is actual programming. And he went an entire hour without testing anything. And I was like, dude, that is an issue. Like, that is seriously an issue with this video. You cannot go that long without testing your stuff. Otherwise, how do you know if it's working? And guess what? Mine wasn't working. So I had this issue, and I didn't catch it till the very, very end. And it bothered the bleep out of me. Anyway, so I did actually make a comment on that video going, you need to not do this. And I actually gave people suggestions on how to make it so you can test things, because you couldn't actually test until the very last 4 minutes of the video. Alright, so where are we at? Alright, so we got the ability to find the treasure. We don't have the ability to find the treasure yet. We have the ability to dig for the treasure. Okay, so we've got bury the treasure. They find it, which is, I'm gonna open these up because I want to make sure I'm understanding myself. All right, so ooh, no. So this one, and we're gonna change this. We're gonna say at username starts digging for treasure at Island 50. Whatever. I'm just gonna call it something so it has a little bit more flavor to it. Okay, so we're gonna assume that the buried treasure is being written. Okay. And this one is the one that gets called. Okay, so this is called from that. Do they find it? So we're focusing on this one right now. Do they find it? All right, so let's open this up. Let's do the rest. So we got a conditional. This part should be hopefully self-explanatory. We're gonna have two conditionals because that's how this works. So if treasure chords equals $ treasure chords equals argtext1, and if treasure chords does not equal argtext1. So just to take a step back, these are two conditionals, and let's get this. Let's name these things so we know it. So let's get treasure chord starts a digging message, and this is treasure found. Treasure not found. Okay, so that's why I like these things, because you can actually label them, which is really cool. So for the treasure found, we're going to do several things. So first of all, we're going to send a chat message saying, while digging at username found the buried treasure. This one's gonna hang on. They found just bear with me on that one, because that's not right, but bear with me because I need to figure that out. Is there I forget, is there a just straight up random? What does random give me? Oh, nope, that's the random, right? That's a random command that'll run. We don't want that. This is what I need to figure out. What I'm looking for, so just so everybody understands why I'm looking for something, is we need to be able to, in my world, say what this reward is, right? So, like, you know, I can say consumable, and I can add points to user in the amount of a random number, but I need to be able to say it, right? So I want something, and maybe that's a I think you have to do it. I think you have to do it in a separate command. Yes, you do. Okay, here. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna do a separate command. And okay, so the reason I'm saying that is because we can just get rid of that. Oh, I shouldn't have got rid of that. Oh well. So this is actually gonna be a command. New action. Treasure found. Because what we can then do is in the treasure. We're gonna put that over here. Oh gosh, darn it. Action. Hang on, sorry, I'm doing this so I can just stop. Okay. Remove specified line from file. Line number 1. What? Invalid action, special identifier specified. Why am I... Remove specific line from file. Right, this has become more complicated because this should just be, I want to remove line number 1. 1. But it's saying that I have to give a name. Line removed. I think you just have to assign it something. Whatever, we're just gonna, okay. Okay. Let me, oops. Ungrouped. I forgot to group that, didn't I? Whoops. Treasure. Okay, sorry, okay, so let's go back and explain why I had to create this treasure found command, because I think it makes sense. I think it's the easiest way to do it because otherwise it's confusing. So, when you win... Oh, come on. That's what I want, this one. Okay, perfect. So when you win, right here, they start digging, and then the treasure found. So then we're gonna have it run a command, which is gonna be an action group under treasure called treasure found, and we're gonna pass in the random number. Again, I'm lazy, guys. I just grab this, and actually it's this one. So it's going to be 10:1, 2. So between 10 and 1,000. That's their winnings. So we're going to pass through the fact that they won. They won something. Okay. So the treasure's found, they won something, and it's going to pass through, and it's going to go to... heck is that? Oh gosh. Where is it? Treasure found. Okay, they won this. Treasure found. Okay. So now because I'm passing through this argument, now when I go through and I add the chat message of at username was digging and found the treasure. It had $ argtext 1. Sorry, I think I have it wrong. arg1 text, I think it's arg1 text. arg1 text channel points. Right? Boom! Easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alright, and now we can do the same thing with consumables. And then we have points, add to user, amount, arg1 text. This is what I was trying to work out before, is like, how do I pass through this? So now I'm doing multiple things with that argument. So I'm saying that we're getting the, we're saying it in chat, we're saying it in the consumables, and we're gonna, that's it, that's actually all we're gonna do. And then I'm actually gonna move this to the bottom. Because in my world, we celebrate, we do a thing, and then we remove the lion, and we don't care about the rest. Like, that's it. That's all that's gonna happen, right? That's it. Done. End of story. Treasure's not found. It should be pretty self-explanatory. It should be at username spends the next 15 minutes digging on island our text 1 and finds nothing. Better luck next time. I'm using islands, by the way, instead of coordinates because it just makes more sense in my world. So there's gonna be 100 islands out there. They're on island 15. So spends the next 15 minutes digging on island 30 and finds nothing. Better luck next time. Womp womp, sad face. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Look how far we're going. Look how far we're going. So we're burying the treasure. Did they find it? Treasure found. Bam. The storm. Now the next question is. Sorry, I'm enjoying Addie's voice. All right, I think from the user standpoint, we have the command, we have hunt. Oh, I did that wrong. This is why we test. This is why we test. I guess this one. Treasure not found. I always do ats because I'm so used to Twitch chat being the @ username sign. Now this will always fail because, oh, sorry, you guys can't see this. Let me pull up chat. I apologize. Let me pull up chat so you can see here. I did an exclamation point hunt just a few seconds ago, and it gave me @ username. Starts digging. It should be $sign username, which is why I fixed it in that other area. I did it again. I don't know why it didn't show up again. That's bizarre. Oh, it did. It did. I have another problem right there. So let's fix. So we go back to our action group. Users looking for treasure. Is it this one? Do they find it? No. Sender, do they find it? It's that one. Save. Boom. Okay, so now if I do hunt again, which I will do, I'm doing it on my OBS, just so you guys know, because then I don't get the duplicate. So I do hunt. I get Keegers 2 starts digging for treasure. They spend. I should just change that second one to they spend. Let's take a look at the wording now, because it doesn't. I don't like to repeat myself like that. So do they find it? So the first one is they start digging. Keegers 2 starts digging. Treasure not found. We can just do this one as they spend the next 15 minutes digging and they don't find it. Okay, so that one's fine. Treasure found. Chat message. They dug on island. I don't have that passing through. So we'll just do, instead of as they were digging, they found the treasure. There we go. Perfect. Save. So that'll, again, eliminate some repeats, because then you're not seeing your username pinged a bunch of times, which could be a little off-putting. And again, you can change any of this stuff. So we do hunt again. So Keegers starts digging for treasure on Island 55. They spend the next 15 minutes, they get 15 minutes digging. I don't think we actually need that rest of that, right? 15 minutes digging, since we already said what island that they're doing, so that actually makes me happier. And finds nothing, and found nothing. So we're gonna change the tense. Now I'm getting nitpicky, but that's okay. We need to get nitpicky. So it's on this conditional. It's not this one. Do they find it? Treasure not found. They spend the next 15 minutes digging and found nothing. Better luck next time. Save. Perfect. So that'll clean that bit up. Okay, so we do have one more outstanding piece of stuff, and that is to make it so that there is a file that gets written via a timer. And yes, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna go into our timers. This is the last piece of this. We're gonna create a new command. We're gonna say treasure hunt. Because we can do this all in one command. It's actually gonna be in our treasure group, and we're gonna have a 15-minute interval on this timer because I said so. All right, so now we're gonna do a conditional. No, we're gonna do a file read write. So we're gonna do file read write. Where is it? File read write. We are going to then read from this file. I'm going over here to grab this. We're going to read from this file. And the file path is here, and we are going to give it the treasure chord. I know that's not the right spelling of chord. It's a different spelling of chord. That's fine. Now, we're going to... Oh, we got an ad break in a minute. It's like, what just shifted? Next, we're going to add a conditional. And the first value is going to be this $ treasure chords is between 1 and 100. I'm trying to think of how to do this. Okay, so this is the case. So okay, so the chords exist. And then we need to add another conditional where the treasure chords. I'm gonna say less than 1 for right now. And we can test this right now, which is really cool. Because if it's less than 1, then we're gonna do a command, which is going to be the action group treasure, bury the treasure. We don't need anything else. And then we're going to say in chat. Ooh, wrong one. We're gonna say here in chat. So, bury the treasure. Tell everyone it's out there. A treasure chest has been buried on one of our many islands. Use exclamation point hunt to find it. You can go to a specific island by adding a number between 1 and 100 after exclamation point hunt. Now, some of that might be repeated. It's fine. Okay, so this is, again, we don't have, I'm assuming, a file or that's been removed, and we need to actually say it. So actually we need one more command because, oh no, that's burying the treasure, and then that does that. So now if it's already out there, now we are just literally going to grab this. Wait. Is there any reason? Wait. Is there any reason to have that message be different? Is there any reason to have that be different? I say no. Which simplifies things, because again, the only thing this needs to then look for is like, well, if the buried treasure doesn't exist, then bury it. Right? So this doesn't need to be there. And this needs to go here. Because we don't care. Like, this chat message can be the same. Does chat care if I'm burying a new treasure? No. It doesn't. So this just reads from the file and says, okay, well, if it doesn't exist, which I wish so much that you could do it differently. I need not between. That's what I need, not between. I could do it with regex, but I don't want to do that. I could also do not in and do 1 to 100, which is what I did before for something else. If I've already got that code, I could do that. Hang on, I might have that code somewhere. Sorry. Not that. It's not that one. And it's Troj. It's Troj. Yep, here it is. That's it. That's Troj. Yep. This is something I've been working on for Troj. So this conditional is not in gobbledygook. Okay. Oh, I need to. This is 1 to 1,000. I only need 1 to 100. So what this says is, remember that delimiter thing that we talked about an hour or 2 hours ago? Where are we at? Almost 2 hours ago now. You can take a look at that and be like, you can put that delimiter anywhere. So this is saying if the treasure coordinates are not in this list of things. Now, usually, let's talk languages here for a second. Usually a list of things is a comma, right? Well, let's think of that up bar, and again, that's that above the enter key button with a shift, so that I can just type it out here. So like if it's slash not that one, it's the shift one. So it gives you that up bar. That's what it's called. So if it's not in that list of numbers separated by that up bar, then I want to do something. So in this case, again, if the file is empty, it should probably return this garbage. So it's not in this list. But if it exists in somewhere in this list, then we're not going to do anything. So again, if it's not in this list of numbers, do this. If it is, cool, move on with your life. That's it. That's literally it. I think that's the whole thing, Mika. Let's look at our requirements and just double check that I hit all of them. There are 100 coordinates, yes. Write the coordinates to a file, done. Create a timer that runs every 15 minutes and announces if the treasure exists. And if it's already been found, we make a new one, yes. There's a hunt command, no coordinates given, then we do random number, yes. Given the coordinates, what they ask unless they fail. We don't care, because if they specify something outside of 100, guess what? You're gonna fail. I could have something funnier in there. So like if they specify greater than 100 or less than 0, we could have something funny like so-and-so spends the next 7 hours or 15 minutes looking for island number whatever and realizes that it doesn't exist. I'd have to change some flow things up there, but it's not terrible. What is a reward? It costs 10 CP, which I didn't assign that yet to the command. I've got to go back and edit the command. The reward will be between 10 and 1000 CPs. Remove the coordinates from the file, which is done. Open up treasure. So that's all done. Yeah, I think that's it. So again, the cleanup here, we just have to do those couple things. So again, per person, 15 minutes. Let's get a calculator out. And we can just actually do 15 times 60, 900 seconds. So 900 second timer cooldown. It's gonna cost currency requirements. Points required amount is 10. Oops. There's no special rank requirement. You could have an inventory requirement. We could do some fancy stuff with inventory things, man. We don't need arguments for it. It's all doing it. Nope, we're not doing that. And that's fine. That's it. Soup to nuts, man, that's done. So let's take a look at what we all did and make sure we understand. So let's go back to our, so it's in 3 different places that we set this up. Most important part is in action groups. We also have a command to run things in chat, and we also have a timer to create things. I'm also going to create a, oops, sorry. I'm also going to create a command because I'm me. Bury the treasure. So this is what you can run. And Berry T. This is a streamer only command. Nope, sorry. Streamer only. And we're just gonna add the action of bury the treasure. What am I doing? I am making it so I can manually do Berry T, and it will then bury the treasure. Now it doesn't mean that it's gonna work. So I just buried the treasure. So now let me I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna open this. Perfect, it opened up over there. I'm gonna go and open up this file. Actually, I can do that. No, I'm gonna open it up over here. Perfect. 79. Perfect. Now I'm going to run bury T one more time. And it refreshed to 5. Just so you guys can see it is working. It is 100% working. So in theory, the timer should also take care of that, but I like the ability to give the streamer the ability to say, hey, I want to override things, so move on with your life. Also, I should have done that in Twitch on OBS, not in chat here. Erg! Okay. So then if I'm gonna type it in over here, and we're gonna do hunt. Perfect. Now if I do hunt again, it should not work. Right? Perfect. Now the only thing that I want to be able to do is we're gonna go into the command, and for testing purposes only, we're going to change that timer to 9 seconds. Save. Actually, we're gonna save that timer at 1 second. Save. All right, and the exclamation point hunt. Oh, it's still on cooldown for 15 minutes. Oh, but I overrode it. Let me. I'm gonna make a new one. Just gonna make a new command. Testing, hunting. So actually we can do this. We can actually go here. We'll set this back to 900. Save. We're gonna do treasure. It's gonna be T-hunt. Thunt. We're gonna make this moderator or above, and we literally just run. It's the same command here. Again, I'm lazy, and we're doing a command, and it's action group. User is looking for the treasure, and that's it. Save. So now, as a me, I can now go over here and go exclamation point T-hunt. And I started looking for it. Oh, let me pull up the chat so you guys can see. So you can see I tried to run it again. This one didn't give any output, which is bizarre. I did it again, and I did get the command is on cooldown, so that might be a mix-it-up issue. I don't think there's anything else going on there. Anyway, so I created a new thunt command, and then it's doing that. So now I'm going to go over here and go T-hunt 5. And I found the treasure and had 318 channel points. Habam. I think that's it. I really do. So, again, so that's the command. We were just going over everything. So we've tested it. Let's look at this file again. The file is now empty. Let's talk through things, and I will see if we waste 15 minutes talking and seeing if that we can just double check the file to make sure that the timer is working. I am actually going to, no, the timer will give us feedback no matter what. And the timer should be working. It's on. It's in its own group. And it's got a timer interval, so it should run every 15 minutes from the start of the stream, period, end of story, because that's the third group of timers. Yes. Okay, so that should work. Okay, so let's go over things, and we'll see if chat comes up with stuff, and I will keep an eye on it. So, we're under timers. Let's just look at that one real quick. So that's one of the places that we have the get file contents. If the treasure coordinates that it pulls is not in this god-awful list, it will run that buried the treasure command. We know that the buried treasure action command works because we tied it to the streamer command of bury T. We know it works. It should also send out a message saying that the treasure has been buried on one of our many islands. Use hunt to find it, and it will go to a specific. Use exclamation point hunt to find it. You can go to a specific island by adding a number between 1 and 100 after that. Love it. We're gonna change some things around too. Next, we'll go to our action groups because that is the next piece. Because we already looked at the command. The command is simply exclamation point hunt, and it will pass through the thing or not. So bury the treasure. Just to go over that really, really quickly, it just literally writes a random number between 1 and 100 to the file. We're using save to file because it goes to the top of the file. We want it as line 1 on this file. We want it to be the only thing in this file. So we use save and not append because append would add it to the bottom of the file, not put it at the top of the file, and that's why we use save. User's looking for the treasure, because we're going to jump down here. We're going to open this up. So this then is the way to pass through that file. This is just like an intermediate step. So this is what is called when someone does exclamation point hunt. Let me just double check that. So let's go to our commands real quick. And we have hunt, which the command is running. User is looking for the treasure. That is this part. So user is looking for the treasure. It is doing it this way so we can pass through either argument text 1, which is what the user is specifying, or the random number. So it's this intermediate step between the two. And it calls the same thing of do they find it. So again, we're just doing this so we can pass through that argument or that random number. So again, this is when the user is like exclamation point hunt and then a number. This is when they just do exclamation point hunt with nothing after it. This was the critical step. So we're going to close that one. So now we are going to go back to our action group. Oh, and we just got the notification from the timer. A treasure chest has been buried on one of our many islands. Use exclamation point hunt and you go find a specific island by adding a number between 1 and 100 after hunt. I'm going to grab the file over here. It is still up. It is now the number 68. It was blank. Everything is working, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is working. All right, we're going to keep going through our action group just to make sure we are understanding what is there. So, users looking for treasure, they go with do they find it. Now, do they find it? I think we're going to change. We're going to change a little bit. We have all of this. So first what we do is we go to the file and we grab the treasure coordinates. Now, here's where we could do something funny if you want. Actually, we're just gonna do it here. So, we could take this part out if we wanted to. And I'm trying to think of how to do this. Okay, so let's think this through. We could either take this part out and add it to each one of these. So this treasure found and treasure not found. I'm trying to think through because I want to do something funny for when someone specifies something outside of that range of 1 to 100. If it's not between 1 and 100, I want to make fun of them. Is that fair? I think that's fair. So if they specify 101, let's say, We want to say something along the lines of, do they want to start digging? Let's say searching for the treasure on island. So we're gonna do that. Then down here, what we can do is we can actually specify a conditional inside of this. So inside of here, we're gonna do another conditional. And we're gonna say if, we're actually gonna do two conditionals. Let's see. So if the text arg1 is between 1 and 100, they spend the next, we do a chat message, and it's simply they spend the next 15 minutes looking for the treasure. Right? So it's a conditional, treasure found, chords fall between 1 and 100. Chords are not between 1 and 100. And we'll grab that thing. So that's going to be text R. It's just going to be conditional. And we're going to do that not in thing. And that was on the timer. No, where was that? I was on the timer. On the timer. Conditional. I'm grabbing this long text here. I can put this in the description of the YouTube video later if you guys want. And we can then say in the chat message, they spend the next 15 minutes looking for island. Text arg1 only to realize that the map they had is very old and the island no longer exists. Better luck next time. Save. Okay, so now we're gonna do our T hunt because that one doesn't have the cooldown, and we're gonna specify 1,000. And we go back over to our chat so you guys can see this. Keegers02 starts searching for the treasure on Island 1000. They spend the next 15 minutes looking for Island 1000 only to realize the map they had was very old and the island no longer exists. Better luck next time. That's something where you can also do some interesting things here. If we go back to that action group. If you're much more creative and inclined than me, after streaming for almost 2 hours, actually over 2 hours on this, Mix It Up, where you could actually, I think it's this one? That's this one. Where you can, instead of having one chat message, you could add a random to this, and then have a random where it then has multiple chat messages and then makes fun of them in different ways. So you add random and then you add chat message, chat message, chat message here. And then, yeah, you can just take a look at the random one, but that's how you can do something like that if you really want to. So just so you guys know. But that's it. I'm going to do something on stream that I've never done before. And that's export this, because I want to export this treasure stuff for my friend Mika, who asked for this. And I also want to export the Q&A stuff for anyone that wants it. And then, you know what? I'm going to be a big old jerk. I'm going to put all this also on Patreon. So if you are following along and you watch this 2-hour stream and you want to grab this, you can go to my Patreon. So it's patreon.com/Keegers02. And I will have that up. Give me a week. And you will be able to just download that right there. But let's figure out how we can do this, because actually I have no idea. So how do we export. We're gonna bring up the. Is there a way to? Can we type in export? Export. Export. No. Share? Because how do I share? I don't know the answer to this question. I am legitimately asking. Let's go back to mix it up. Let's see if we can figure this out. So can I? Sorry. I always forget when I go into settings, I really need to not. I'm looking at the settings. I'm literally going through to see. I love that. Alright, I don't see it there, so I'm gonna close settings and then go back. Oh, sorry. Because I know there's this. I can export. But like... do I like zip them all together? And then can I import? I don't actually know how to do this. I mean, like I said, I can export each of these individually. Let's take a look at what it looks like. I'm curious. Sure. Oops. I'm copying this. All right, so open this with Notepad++, just once. I want to see what this does. It's a JSON file. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up how to do this. I actually don't know. Yeah, so once I get that exported, I will upload things to different areas. Oops, cancel. Because that would be really nice. Can I do it? It doesn't help. Yeah, my commands is empty. So I don't know if I need to create an account. Yeah, because it just gives you, this is their wiki page for it, which I'm not liking. Alright guys, I am not certain. I will look up how to do this and I will get things out there for you guys. Hopefully this makes sense. I'm looking at things on settings. They already did something dumb. I might go to their Discord and be like, how do you do this? Oops, not what I wanted. We're also in the middle of an ad break, so I'll wait till the end of that. Love that. Moderation settings, I totally need to do that. Quotes, game queue. Yeah, it's gotta be like... There must be something with like exporting it individually and then compiling it into one. All right, let's... This is JSON. So this looks like this. Why is that on a new line? Because there's... Right, because... Type is 4. In case you guys are wondering, this, like I said, this is a programming thing called JSON, JavaScript object. I forget. Notation, maybe. Anyway, and it should allow. Ooh, not at all what I wanted. Action type. So it kind of like specifies this way to do all this, and I'm putting returns in where it makes sense. So then I wonder if to export everything, if I've got to export each individual stuff, and then I can write a file that looks like this. Let's see, and then this closes that, this closes that, and this closes that. So now hopefully it looks a little bit more, ooh, I missed that up there. More human readable. So then I wonder if I can like simply put a comma here and then just keep adding to the file. Be something to try. I can create a new profile and try that. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna go see if my friendly. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Sorry, I just got an email that I was reading. I shouldn't do that on stream. But we are going to go raid somebody, and I need to see who I'm going to raid. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. Yep. And we are going to raid our friends. We're going to raid specifically Sir Bersalak, but also the Timidary is there as well. So, end stream. So let's hit that raid. Go. And there you go. And yeah, thank you guys so much for viewing. I just realized I have to edit this VOD, so fun times for me. And yeah, take care, everybody. I will see you next time. Why won't it let me raid now? Oh, okay. Because I need to wait 4 seconds. I'm impatient. Bye, everybody.